Parshat Re'eh contains the mitzvah to take tithes from one's property, from one's produce. Aser ta'aser ekol tevuat zarecha. You are to take a tithe of that which grows, your produce, your wine, your olive oil. And the Torah then goes on to say what you are to do with that tithe. There are different types of tithes depending on what year it is in the sabbatical cycle. And the Talmud has a play on words. Aser ta'aser means you shall surely take a tithe. But the word aser, if you just put the dot from on the sin and you change it to a shin, turns out to be aser ta'asher. If you give a tenth, you will become wealthy. Eser means 10. Osher means wealth. If you give your tithe to charity, to those who require it, you shall become wealthy. And indeed, the Code of Jewish Law, at the beginning of the laws of charity, says that no harm will come to a person if they fulfill the mitzvah of charity properly. By nature, we don't want to part with our money. We've worked hard for it. Why should I give it to some other person who's not even my family and give it away and not get anything in return? And the Torah here is encouraging a person. No, aser ta'aser. Give your tithe. You'll become wealthy. Good things will happen. And it's something that I've seen through experience, that people who are philanthropists, who regularly give charity, they continue to grow in their wealth. They give it, of course, for the right purpose. The Talmud says an interesting thing. It says, melech mammon chaser. How do you preserve money? What is the melech? What is the salt? Salt is what preserves food. So what is the salt that preserves money? And the Talmud says something strange. It says, chaser, to give it away. If you want to preserve your money, give it away to charity. Give the portion away to charity, and you'll see your money will be preserved. And there's a delightful story in the Talmud about Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Tarfon. They were great colleagues, and Rabbi Tarfon was a very wealthy man. But it seems he wasn't properly giving to charity as he should. So Rabbi Akiva said to him, I've got an investment for you. I'm going to put it into, certain property or whatever. Would you like to, invest with me? And Rabbi Tarfon, of course, he trusted Rabbi Akiva 100%. So he gave him the money. And Rabbi Akiva took the money and he used it to build schools and to educate children in Torah. And after a while, Rabbi Tarfon said, how's my investment going? Can I have a look at what you purchased? So Rabbi Akiva took him to the yeshiva and he showed him all the little children. And they were all learning. And that's where his money had been invested. And he hugged Rabbi Akiva and he said, that's wonderful what you've done, and I'm going to give you even more. That's the true wealth. When you see that you are building the future of the Jewish people. Yes, you can take your money and you can hoard it, but King Solomon says in Kohelet, in Ecclesiastes, he says it in Mishlei, that sometimes people amass an enormous amount of wealth and they never get to enjoy it. And it goes to their child, and who's the heir, and he squanders it. It's all gone. But when you invest your money in worthy communal projects, in welfare, and in education, Jewish future, you are ensuring not just the future of the Jewish people, but your future also. You have an incredible merit in the world to come. And this is something that we should do, and we should do it with gladness. When somebody comes to us and they represent a proper charity, and they say, please give, and we have the wherewithal to give, we should give. It does so much, not just for the people that we are giving to, but for ourselves. Aser bishvil shetitasher. Give over your tithe, and you will indeed become wealthy. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.